Phone at wgnsradio.com. The Action Line with Bart Walker. Weekday mornings at 8:10.
WGNS, your good neighbor station.
Rutherford County's place to talk. We're the Good Neighbor Network. FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro. FM 100.5 Smyrna. Audio and video streaming at wgnsradio.com. This is the Roundtable. A look at the news, views, politics, and people that are shaping Rutherford County.
Welcome in to the Roundtable on this Wednesday, a very cold Wednesday morning here in Rutherford County. Chip Walters here from Exit Realty, Bob Lamb & Associates, and the Blue Raider Network. And Brian Barrett is here. Brian, what's the temperature right now?
Looks like 12.
12.
Yeah.
We don't have many degrees right now. So,
well,
this morning was going to be the last of the worst of it, correct?
Yeah. When your weather forecast called for a temperature where you have to put the word above after it, it's too cold.
That's right.
It's going to be like 8 above. Okay, it's too cold.
Oh.
It's actually colder here now than it is in Anchorage, Alaska. I checked this morning.
That's
My
right.
wife says, where can we go that it's going to be warm? She says, what about Alaska? So it's 35 degrees out there.
Well, who thought 17 was going to be warm, but that's what will be overnight the next 2 nights.
Yeah, wow. And that was the voice of Rob Mitchell, our Rutherford County Assessor of Property. And Rob, welcome in.
Oh, thanks, Jeff. I appreciate it.
And how was it on your side of town this morning? Frost on the pumpkin?
It was cold.
Yeah.
It was cold. We opened the door to let the dogs out, and they looked at us like, really?
Yeah, I don't think so. So, yeah, exactly. It is it is cold. I was, just marveled looking at some of the video and photos yesterday from along the Gulf Coast, everywhere from Rosemary Beach in Florida all the way to I saw pictures and video of people having snowball fights in the French Quarter in New Orleans last night. I'm supposed to fly with Middle's basketball team to Houston today. Well, that airport right now is still closed. It's supposed to open, well, right now. It's supposed to open at 9 a.m. First flight's incoming at 10. So, our travel to go down to play Sam Houston tomorrow night is, they're kind of watching all the websites and all of that, and I'm getting text messages from the ops people and Coach McDevitt, hey, because he knows I'm a nerd, and look up on FlightAware, how are flights getting in and out of there, that kind of thing. So we'll figure that out. We'll have a basketball game tomorrow night down there. Women will be at home against Sam Houston at 6:30 at Murphy Center. So all of that being said, it is always fun to have Rob Mitchell here. We have plenty of things to talk about, and one of the things that spurred a call to you to come in today was an email that you send out to a lot of folks in real estate and development and just things like that. And it was a copy of an email you sent to the General Assembly, Tennessee Professional Assessors Coalition, and Governor Lee. That was following information from the Boyd Center about Rutherford County surpassing Hamilton County in population. So, Mayor Carr was on with Bart a little while ago, and they were obviously, every time he's on there, issues that deal with the growth in our county. And one of the basics we talk about is housing. Yes. and all of that. So you kind of took that information that Rutherford County is now larger in population than Hamilton County and kind of ran with it a little bit and got some other rather interesting and information from that. So kind of tell me your thought process when you saw that and said, hey, I want to kind of dig a little deeper into this.
Well, I'm a bit you claim to be a bit of a nerd when it comes to flights. I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to population growth, population trends, assessment, how much does it cost? We have to track the costs of houses. Whenever Chip Walters sells a house, we have to go and redo all of our numbers because he gets you guys great prices on your homes.
Let's record that. We do our best.
Well, yeah, you saw the house across the street from me, and I wouldn't believe what you got for it. I thought, oh my gosh!
I was waiting for your call to say, "Hey, put mine on the market."
I don't have a place to move to.
I know. Well, we can work on that too.
That's the issue right there. So prices are going up. They've stabilized some, but the reason I did that is I think there is a tremendous amount of justified focus, and the Mayor Carr is completely correct when he says that we have to plan for growth and that our infrastructure does need to be addressed, and there are costs that come with all of that. But the cost that a lot of times gets overlooked is that people have to have a place to live. We have more people now coming to our community than ever before. We surpassed Hamilton County. As of January 1st, we're larger. We probably were larger before then, but Boyd Center updates their projections based on a January 1st date. So the fact that we are now larger than Hamilton County and we have grown at a tremendous rate, we have to think of what does that do to the housing market. People must have places to live. And I know there are people out there that say we're full. And when you drive on the streets, it feels like we're full. It feels like we're over full until you go to the places like Nolensville, Davidson County. I had reason to have to drive from Davidson County after taking my pet to a vet visit up there. Could not get to the interstate. So I thought, well, the time projections are it's going to take 45 minutes just to get from around 100 Oaks back to 24. So I thought, well, if I can get to Nolensville Road, I can take Nolensville Road in. It took an hour and a half to get to 840.
Wow.
And there was growth and development all from Davidson County up Nolensville Road on both sides, planned communities, developments right up on the road. And that's new construction, but there is also existing housing that people, because of decisions that Davidson County made, and that's Davidson County's decision to make those on what they want to do with their tax abatements to attract business in. The cost to live in Davidson County got to the point that people were selling their homes, like my neighbor across the street, and leaving the community. Well, if they don't want to leave Tennessee because Tennessee is such a great place to be, and there is a lot of there are a lot of facilities in Nashville with the airport and the venues and the hospitals. When you get older, you need to think about hospitals. And we have a great hospital here, but, Middle Tennessee is a tremendous place to live. And people have figured that out. But we're displacing people. People from California and from outside are moving into Davidson County. They are selling their properties. They are coming in with cash, and they are buying. They're not mortgaging, they're buying. And the people in Davidson County are leaving, and they're taking their gains and coming to Rutherford County. The median sales price in a home in Rutherford County is $420,000. You had with $84,000 down. And who can save $84,000?
That's 20%.
That's 20%. You have to earn $91,000 a year if you're not paying cash. How many $91,000 a year jobs do we have in Rutherford County? And the mortgage payment's $2,100 a month, and that's not including taxes and insurance. So realistically, you're talking about $3,000 probably that's going to have to come out of your pocket every month to afford a house. You cannot build wealth in a community without home ownership. Statistics show that in areas where home ownership is lower and there are more renters, the crime rate is higher. And that has a social cost associated with it, which means we have to have more firemen. We have to have more police officers. We have to have
More EMS. All of that.
EMS. All of that carries a cost. So, and I don't believe there's a magic bullet, but we have to have a discussion about it. How do we make housing affordable? Because it is supply and demand.
It is the market.
It's the market.
And somebody can call me today and say, "Hey, I want to sell my house. I want to get X amount for it." Well, you'll get what the market will bear.
That's it.
That's it. And sometimes that's, we have had times when that has been more than you thought it was, and sometimes it's a little less than what you probably want. But with that, you look at what it takes. You mentioned 91,000. That is with 20% down, and still some numbers you were talking about before we went on the air. Still, even with that said, and as sobering a number as that can be, Tennessee is still what, 14th?
14th,
most affordable in the country. So there are 36 more that where the situation would be more dire.
Right, and a lot of that, the home values may be low because there are no jobs, or because the quality of life is less. The most affordable place in the nation, let me check my list here and see if I got this, is West Virginia. Well, West Virginia, where in my hometown of Bluefield, West Virginia, it was minus 4 degrees this morning. They have they have an aging population. Their population is shrinking because of economic factors, being that they're reliant on coal, and coal is an industry that is less favorable right now in the eyes of the general public. And with fracking, which has come along to capture natural gas and extract it, it's actually cheaper economically to build a natural gas power plant than it is to maintain a coal-fired plant. Even some of the ones that are existing, they will retrofit because there are tax incentives to retrofit, but there aren't tax incentives for coal.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of it is economic pressures are diminishing the demand in the United States, not internationally, but in the United States, the demand for coal is diminished, and that has decreased the job opportunities for individuals living in West Virginia or other states like that. Number 2 is Mississippi. Number 3 is Arkansas. Number 4 is Alabama. Not saying that those aren't great states, but the economic opportunities for someone in those states is less than what it is in Tennessee. So, I mean, those are things that from kind of the 50,000 foot level, if we don't start the conversations around what is the best way for our community to proceed forward, we will constantly be in a knee-jerk situation where
Right.
we're responding to things and we're frustrated and people are angry, and that's never a good place to make decisions from.
Yeah, and the thing is, when you look at, okay, out of that, what you just mentioned, a lot of states that are very close to us that are at the bottom of the barrel of where it is, unaffordable, to live. Then you break it down even farther within the state. We are in such a fortunate position to be in this this ring around Nashville, Tennessee, whether, all of these bedroom communities, whether it's Rutherford, Wilson, Sumner, Dixon, Robertson, all the way at Wilson, even down into Murray County, my home area, we're really fortunate there, and we do have better jobs here. We do have, but with that, prices go up, and one of the things you mentioned, the house price to income ratio, you want it to be around 2.6.
Mm-hmm.
It's now at nationwide 5.8. Tell me what that means.
Well, that's when bankers go out there and they start to say, well, if you're going to get a loan, we want you to make a certain amount of money before we're going to give you money,
right,
so that we know we're going to get our money back.
Correct.
It has changed over time that the financial stresses just to keep a roof over your head nationally has increased to the point that it is dangerously unsustainable. And what that will do is that opens up the markets. People are going to supply housing. So the two options you have with housing is you can own it yourself or you can rent. These economic stresses are opening the doors for large corporate investors to come in and obtain property legally and rent it out and provide a service. How well they provide that service is, debatable from company to company, from landlord to landlord, from community to community. We have to find a way. I don't disparage anyone or any company that rents out property. They're simply meeting a market demand. But
and you're in a college town, which is going to lend itself to a lot of rentals.
It is.
Yeah.
When I first started school here, I remember going over to a guy's apartment, quote unquote, and he was living in an upstairs bedroom at a little old lady's house over off of 2nd Street with another couple of students that were in there. They shared the kitchen with her, but but that was helping her. It was like a boarding house, if you think back to It's a Wonderful Life and Ma Bailey's boarding house, where somebody comes in and they get a meal and they have a room and they're expected to behave a certain way. Those college towns, in providing affordable housing for college students, providing affordable housing for workers like DuPont de Nemours did in Nashville when they built over around Rayon City in Old Hickory. They actually built a factory town to provide housing for their employees, just like the coal companies would build factory towns to provide affordable housing for their workers. There are, whatever is old is new again. There may be instances where, and it's perfectly legal, if a developer or a company like Nissan is going to house a certain number of people, it could be in the requirement that they provide housing and build schools for those people, just like they used to do years ago. If the companies were causing an impact on the community, they provided the services.
Yeah.
And that may be a model that we have to revisit. I don't know, but where we're going right now, I think, is we need to have a conversation about it before it's too late.
Yeah. Rob Mitchell is our guest today, the assessor of property here in Rutherford County. If you've got questions, text them in to us, 615-893-1450. We'll step aside. Back with more after this here on the Roundtable on WGNS.
Life's too short to stress about insurance. That's why Ray Call at Rayburn Insurance is here to make sure you have the right coverage without all the hassle. He'll work hard to provide you with personalized service and finding the best solutions for you and your family. Whether you're looking for auto, home, or business insurance, Ray Call's got you covered. Ray Call at Rayburn Insurance Agency. Let him handle the details so you can focus on what really matters.
Chip Walters here with Exit Realty Bob Lamb & Associates. I was named a top 10 agent in the #1 Exit Realty office in America in 2021. The top question I get around town, how's the market? Good question. And the answer's changed a few times this year alone. I'd like to know what you've heard and share some solid data we have. Give me a call and let's have a cup of coffee and take a look at what's happening in your neighborhood. All my contact info is right on my website, choosechip.net. I'm Chip Walters with Exit Realty Bob Lamb & Associates.
Participating in Murfreesboro's special census could help bring more funding to our city. $175 per resident per year. Here's Murfreesboro Mayor Shane McFarland.
Those dollars shared with us will greatly benefit our community, build roads, maintain parks, improve public safety, and much more.
It's fast and easy. Complete the form online at murfreesborocensus.com.
Count me in.
Okay, count me in.
And count me in too.
Let's make sure every resident counts. Visit murfreesborocensus.com.
As a leader in environmental services, sustainability is deeply integrated into our business model. At Middle Point Landfill, we are environmentalists at heart. This is Mike Klassen with Middle Point Landfill. We use cutting-edge technology in combination with our deep experience in recycling and waste services to protect our environment and our neighbors. That's our job, and that's our promise. We invite you to learn more about us at middlepointlandfill.com. Republic Services, we are sustainability in action.
We're at Adams Place talking with John Hood. What advice do you have for someone considering a move?
Well, I would encourage them to check out Adams Place. Come and personally see the facilities, talk to the personnel, and get a true feel of Adams Place.
I'm Terry Deal, Rutherford County's premier retirement community with all 5 levels of care. Call me for more information about Adams Place, located at 1927 Memorial Boulevard, across from Walmart.
This is Good Neighbor Events with Bart Walker. Brought to you by AmeriCare Pest Control and the law offices of John Day.
I've got pests, bees, buzzing, rodents running all through my house. Ants chewing wood, and look, there's a mouse. I'm overrun with pests, but you're gonna be sure, safe and secure. It's the last rites for those pests. Call the best of the best to get rid of your pests.
893-7111. AmeriCare Services Incorporated. Call us today. 893-7111.
WGNS encourages you to shop local. Let's patronize those local family businesses. Maybe you still haven't figured out how to use that new computer or laptop that you got for Christmas. Well, the Rutherford County Library System can help you there. They have free computer classes, and you can contact any of the library's branches for more information. They'll also show you how to be comfortable with your smartphone. There are some great plays this weekend. All Shook Up, featuring the music of Elvis Presley, continues at the Center for the Arts in Uptown Murfreesboro. And that's going on through this weekend. All Shook Up. In addition, Alice by Heart at the Art Center of Cannon County in neighboring Woodbury. That opens this weekend and continues through February 8th. This play takes place in the rubble of the London Blitz of World War II. Don't miss Alice by Heart, starting this weekend through February the 8th at the Art Center of Cannon County. To make reservations or for more information, phone 615-563-ARTS. From News Radio WGNS, those are Good Neighbor Events.
Rutherford weather.
Look for sunny to partly cloudy skies for this afternoon with highs reaching 34 degrees. For tonight, mostly clear skies, lows in the mid-teens. I'm meteorologist Michael Caron, News Radio WGNS. Currently, it's 12.
Broadcasting from the Middle Tennessee Electric Studios, MTE Sharing Change has now donated more than $11 million to local nonprofits assisting worthy causes in our community. MTE, serving to make life better since 1936.
This is the Roundtable from News Radio WGNS on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at wgnsradio.com.
Welcome back in to the Roundtable on this Wednesday. Rob Mitchell, the assessor of property here in Rutherford County, joins us. And I was looking through some information he sent out, and you were we talked about the average price. The other, when it comes down to your office, what we had talked about was what does it take to buy a home, and we kind of went through that and where we currently stand. One of the other interesting things is property tax assessments between single-family homes and rental units is interesting because I, as a homeowner, pay it's based on my appraised value and then 25%. But apartments are a different animal, and kind of explain how that works.
Well, as Tennessee is a fractional assessment state, which means that we, unlike some states, we don't assess property taxes on 100% of the market value.
Right.
We assess it fractionally based upon its use. If it is a residential property and is used for residential purposes to house a Tennessee family, it is classified as residential under certain conditions. If it is a multifamily residential unit where you house 2 or more families and you rent it out, then that is classified as a commercial use, and that's assessed at 40% of its market value, which when you pay the taxes, it ends up being a 60% increase in the amount of taxes that you pay. It's a 15% swing in the percentage, but a 60% swing in the amount of taxes. It's crazy math.
Yeah, but I mean, bottom line, it is a little more, and obviously, whether it is an individual who owns a duplex or a corporation who has a major apartment complex, that property tax, like you said, each unit in that apartment complex gets charged at a certain amount, but that's all going to get passed along as well as part to the tenant as part of the rent.
It gets passed along to the tenant. And some of this was started through a Facebook post that was made that I thought about responding to. And I took an apartment complex over off of Cason Lane.
Right.
Because the individual that posted said that was near to where they lived. And I just looked it up and did the math on it.
You did Cason Ridge Apartments.
Right.
Which is 112 units.
Right. They have 112 units. The average value per unit is about $106,000. And they pay roughly, I don't remember the math, it's $750.
$797.39.
Yeah, almost $800 in property taxes per unit per year, which is passed along to the tenant.
So that's about $80 a month, somewhere in that ballpark, that each tenant is paying as part of really paying the property taxes.
They're paying the property taxes
right.
because the landlord is not going to do it out of the goodness of their heart. Everything that comes through a business is a pass-along expense to the final user. You pass your costs along, and you have a margin that you use to create your profit off of. So you do have families that are in multifamily rentals that are paying a higher percentage of the property tax than someone in a single family rental. And that brings into questions, is that equitable? Does that go back to the original intent of the Constitution? It may not. I would like to see, personally, we have to recognize that the more people you have, the more it's going to cost to provide services. But the dangerous slippery slope on a lot of this is, and this is an intellectual exercise as much as anything else, when you have multifamilies, you then get into what's called a horizontal property regime property, which is a condominium, where each unit doesn't own the land underneath it, it owns an undivided portion of the totality of the property. So if you and I, Chip, bought a condominium unit and we were both renting them out, say it's, I don't know, what's the average price on rent of $1,500 a month.
$1,500 to $2,000, yeah.
So we're renting identical units for $1,500 a month, and we're paying 25% because we both just have one.
Okay.
But you're doing really well. You really like this. I don't have the time to put into it, but you're a professional. You say, I'm going to buy another unit in the complex because these are doing really well for me. So you buy a second one. As soon as you buy that second one, you're now classified at 40% commercial. Your taxes go up that you're going to pass through to your tenant by 60%. Now, what am I going to do?
But, yeah, and in the math there, if you say, well, it goes from 25 to 40, that's 15%. No, it's actually 60% more than what you were paying.
That's right.
So
you go up on your rent,
mm-hmm.
and your tenant's rent goes up, and they're having to pay more. So now they're maybe not as great a tenants as they were when they were getting a bargain.
Right.
Well, I see Chip getting $2,500 a month now, and I'm still making $15,000. What am I going to do because the market has changed? I'm going to go up on my rent. So my tenants are now paying more when they didn't have to before, simply because your ownership of 2 or more units changed your classification to commercial. So the market was administratively influenced by not necessarily a law, but by a court interpretation of a law.
Right.
And that's something that we have the power to address.
Right. Now, obviously, the greatest wealth builder there is, especially for the general public, is being able to own your own home. That's where it starts. And you sent this, I look here, John DeBerry, Tim Rudd, Mike Sparks, Robert Stevens, Charlie Baum, our entire legislative delegation, Dawn White, Shane Reeves, the governor. You sent this out in the subject line was addressing affordable housing crisis in Tennessee. And, we've kind of talked about what you put into this email, the subject matter. What, if any, response have you gotten from those who you have laid this out very eloquently, I might add?
I haven't heard anything back from the governor's office, but that's not unusual. They get snowed with tons of
especially
stuff.
Beginning of the session and all that. So.
Right. And they're pulled different ways. I have had some very positive responses from members of our legislative delegation. I'm not at liberty really to say which ones they are.
Understandable.
But they want to do something. It's just they've decreased the number of bills that can be carried now from 15 to 10 in the House. The Senate can still carry as many as they want, but the House rules have changed a little bit, so that's put some constraints on it. But the discussion should be made. If we look to Memphis in Shelby County, where Representative DeBerry is from, and he now works with the governor, their home ownership has dropped to 42%, and their crime has gone understandably through the roof. And that is a real societal cost over there. The cost also, when you have higher crime, your education system suffers because of the environment that the children are being raised in.
Right.
So it just doesn't stop with, okay, we're going to get somebody because they're renting out houses and we need more money. It's a larger picture that we have to address.
By comparison, you mentioned Shelby County, 42% home ownership. Where does Rutherford County fall?
Rutherford County's in, I believe, I would have to check. I haven't checked in a while. I'm just going on memory. It's in the 60% range.
Okay, and that I would imagine that would be in a very healthy balance.
Right, but that ownership is diminishing, as you're probably seeing out there. But it's not based. It's based on affordability, and it's based on opportunity.
Right.
There are fewer single-family homes being built. There are more condominiums and townhome, horizontal property regime properties being built. In the city of Murfreesboro, they're not building as many apartment complexes. They're going to planned unit developments, planned residential developments, townhomes, condominiums, those type of structures to address the housing shortage. And we do have a housing shortage, and supply and demand is what's causing the price.
Yeah, and everything has gone up, supply and demand, and during COVID we had, material costs went through the roof, pardon the pun, but they did, and they have come back now. But still, the market, you want a market that continues to show growth. You don't want it to where it is in decline, but that is kind of the chicken and egg issue with that. So, obviously, better jobs, mean better pay. Better pay means more affordability for home ownership, and that is why all of the pieces need to fit together in the puzzle to make it all work.
It does.
So that is, well, that's just some of the thoughts there. We're going to get step aside, get another break in, and talk with Rob Mitchell a little bit more as we're going to talk a little bit about Plan Rutherford when we come back, and we'll have the assessor of property of Rutherford County with us for the rest of the hour right here on WGNS.
Do you have pieces of jewelry that you feel like you don't wear anymore? The biggest struggle somebody has when they inherit a piece of jewelry is that they love the sentiment.
Hi, this is Trevor from Bell Jewelers. We have 4 graduate gemologists, including myself at Bell Jewelers. That gives us the ability to appraise jewelry and give educational information. And we offer to buy customers' jewelry. We can give you a trade offer or a check. Did you realize Bell Jewelers has 2 master goldsmiths, giving us the ability to make something
First Shot, growing in Christ with life and athletic skills.
So we teach God's Word at everything we do to implant it in them so that they understand that the only way to get through the world is with God on their side.
First Shot, growing in Christ with life and athletic skills.
So we teach God's Word at everything we do to implant it in them so that they understand that the only way to get through the world is with God on their side.
First Shot founder and executive director Andy Herzer.
Our focus is on our inner city here at Patterson Park.
From academics to athletics, First Shot's focus. First Shot, growing in Christ with life and athletic skills.
So we teach God's Word at everything we do to implant it in them so that they understand that the only way to get through the world is with God on their side.
First Shot founder and executive director Andy Herzer.
Our focus is on our inner city here at Patterson Park.
From academics to athletics, First Shot's focus is toward building a stronger, more courageous spirit to face opportunities and obstacles that our youth confront every day. To find out more about First Shot, go to firstshottn.org.
Does your home need freshening up? Let our family at Farrah Construction help you. We do painting, new flooring, anything that you need. If you can dream it, Farrah Construction can turn it into reality. Farrah Construction offers high-quality craftsmanship, quick response, and attention to detail. For home restoration at a price you can afford, Farrah Construction can get the job done no matter how big or small it is. I'm Ron Hall. Shop local. Let our family business help you. Farrah Construction Company.
At Bud's Tire Pros, we sell all major brands of tires, and we invite you to stop by today for that next set of tires. Or maybe you need us to check out your vehicle before you head out of town. We offer everything from brakes to batteries, alignments, and more. No appointments necessary, just stop on by.
I'm Allison Mitchell with Bud's Tire Pros.
We're located on East Main Street, exactly 3 miles from the town square, 1 mile past Rutherford Boulevard. Visit us online at BudsTireProsTN.com.
All right, guys, if you're only middle-aged but wondering why it seems harder to keep up, you're not alone. It may be caused by low testosterone. Testosterone therapy, or TRT, can help you get back to your best. But not just any TRT, not those websites offering only basic treatments. You have to see the provider specialist at Low T Center. They offer advanced personalized treatments with over a decade of experience. At Low T Center, you'll start with a simple test and get your results in about 25 minutes. Go to lowtcenter.com to book your appointment online. lowtcenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Hi, this is Trevor from Bell Jewelers. We have 4 graduate gemologists, including myself at Bell Jewelers. That gives us the ability to appraise jewelry and give educational information. And we offer to buy customers' jewelry. We can give you a trade offer or a check. That gives us the ability to buy estate jewelry from our customers. Bell Jewelers. Like my grandfather said, nothing sparkles like a Bell Jewelers diamond. Bell Jewelers, 821 Northwest Broad Street, across from Toots.
This is the Roundtable from News Radio WGNS on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna. Listen and watch at wgnsradio.com.
Welcome back into the Roundtable today. Rob Mitchell, the assessor of property here in Rutherford County, joins us, and we were talking about affordability of housing. And one of the other proposals that is out there, it is a plan called Plan Rutherford, and about planning. And when we say planning, that comes down to the planning commission, things like that. And it's interesting from where I sit in the real estate world. You want to have nice homes to sell, but you also want to have affordable homes that people can purchase. Mm-hmm. There's the Plan Rutherford. It's a 74-page document that is out there. Some of it I agree with. Some of it I with all due respect, I disagree with, because I think part of it has proven in Williamson County that I think they're trying to, they've kind of taken some of the things that Williamson County has done, and like, for instance, you wouldn't be able to do anything with anything less than a 5-acre lot, which I know the dream is for a lot of folks is to, and I get this call. I get it once a week at least, hey, I'd like to find a piece of land where I could, maybe just outside the city, be able to build a house on, and, kind of be close, but not too close. That's what they do. So from an appraisal standpoint, when you look at Plan Rutherford, how do you see that affecting what goes on in the big picture of properties, home ownership, and appraisals throughout the county?
Well, I have not read Plan Rutherford.
Okay.
But on a general view, it goes back to supply and demand.
Right.
I know that Wilson County just went through, they call it down zoning, where they increase the lot size before you'll be able to develop something strictly outside of a municipal boundary. It's just outside of the city limits, because once it is inside of a city limits, it falls underneath the city zoning and planning rules, and that could be something completely different. I can tell you that the price of a home, median price of a home in Wilson County, is higher than it is in Rutherford.
Yeah, it is slightly, yes.
Yeah. The median price of a home in Williamson County is
off the charts.
2.5 times what it is in Rutherford County.
I mean, the average transaction in Williamson County is over $1 million right now. So
well, the house I grew up in Brentwood, it wasn't anything fancy. We moved there in '74 when Williamson County was jealous of Sumner County. Very jealous. But
really?
Terribly jealous, because they had all the country music stars living.
Oh, that's right. They were all living in Hendersonville at the time.
Hendersonville,
that's right.
And all of that. So Williamson County, downtown Franklin was falling apart. They didn't tear down the buildings in downtown Franklin. and I can say this because I lived there. It wasn't because they didn't want to redevelop. It's because they did not have the money to tear them down and build something else. That's a real reason that downtown Franklin has the buildings it has. Franklin was too poor to do anything with it. So when we moved there from outside of the state, my dad came in with service merchandise. He bought a house in Brentwood. He actually thought that I was going to be zoned to John Overton High School because that was the closest high school. When I went to register for school, I ended up going to Franklin High, which was not what we thought it was going to be. It was, and it's not what it is now. So there are expectations with where you're going to be and what you're going to end up being. Williamson County at that time, in Brentwood, to subdivide, you could not have a lot smaller than 1 acre. You could not have a lot that was outside of a subdivision in Williamson County that was smaller than 5. So what I'm hearing is it's sounding to me like Williamson County broadly adopted a plan that Brentwood had to kind of keep it as an uncrowded community back in the 70s. But to get back to the house that my dad bought for $52,000, which was on a little over an acre and a quarter lot in a subdivision within sight of the WSM radio tower off of Concord Road, sold last year for $870,000.
Wow. And I guess the question is, what lessons can we learn from what Williamson County did? I know, because nobody wants uncontrolled growth. And it's, I hear, it's always funny. It's people, you hear people who are here, who may have lived here for 20 years, say, well, we're full and, blah, blah, blah. Well, when do we shut the gate? Before or after you got here? When do we do that? So, I think, we want to, obviously you want to be smart about it. You want to continue to move forward, in my opinion, but you don't want uncontrolled growth. So what lessons can we learn from what Williamson County went through and what they ended up doing as we move forward here?
Well, that's a perfect question. That's something that, I have not read Plan Rutherford. I know they've had meetings on it, and I haven't attended any of them. Maybe I should have, but we've got, our plate's full with just trying to tend to our own knitting as another elected official.
Raking your own leaves.
Yeah, we're kind of caught up in that. We can have opinions on it,
right?
And from our point of view, what we see, I think is valid, and has information that should probably be considered when looking at issues. Plan Rutherford, I sent something this morning to the Planning Commission. We have short-term rentals in Rutherford County. We have almost 1,000.
Mm-hmm.
There is no licensing required for it.
Is there any zoning of where they can be?
To my knowledge, there is no zoning standard in any of the cities or in the county as a whole. Now, some cities have taken, Davidson County does something with it. Knoxville, I'm not sure if Knox County does. Gatlinburg has it. Shelby County has something. Even Pegram has a licensing for it.
Okay.
So that's an additional opportunity to recognize there are things in the market at 389,000, 390,000 people that we're going to be touched with, that while we've got that book open, make a section for it. I believe that it would be best if all of the mayors and all the cities got together. Mayor Carr has a very good relationship with the mayors in different cities. If he took point on that and addressed that with them, saying this is something that we need to come up with a solution.
And just to have a handle on it.
just to have a handle. It's coming. We know it's going to be there. We've got 1,000 of them. My office has to locate them by statute to classify them to determine if they're going to be assessed as commercial property because they're operating like a hotel or as residential property. So we already have a system in place to locate them. It's no great extension to license them, but that would have to be done through another agency other than our office. We don't do that. But the mechanisms are there. It would provide some uniformity. It would provide something with growth. Going back to the plan, Rutherford, if you have higher density in the county, as soon as it is annexed by the city, that density changes, and it falls underneath what the city wants to do. So in order to get that little bit of land, that 5 acres, I don't know if the city zoning permits that or not, but it could. I don't know. Do you know if it
No, I
doesn't?
do not.
I mean, but that's kind of a lack of uniformity because you're going between different taxing jurisdictions, and different jurisdictions, they all set their own. Now, I'm not advocating municipal government, but I do think that we would all benefit, and the community as a whole would benefit, if there was some dialogue and some discussion, come up with some uniform standards. I know that every different city has their own different single-family residential code or zoning code. It would be nice if it was just one for the county, and so that you knew, regardless of where you were, if you were in a city limit or in the county, if it was zoned a certain way, those zoning definitions were identical and uniform, just from an operational standpoint, if you're trying to sell something.
Right. Understand. Yeah. So interesting things that are indeed coming down the pike. So with our final 3 or 4 minutes here with you, what is happening in Europe? Because you're always somewhere in a cycle of going through and assessing and reassessing. So where are we in that cycle right now?
Reappraisal happens January 1st, 2026. So we're, less than 12 months away.
You're 11 months and 9 days away.
From everybody getting those love notes from me saying, congratulations, your net worth just went up.
Yeah. There's a great meme or I don't know what it is. It's a meme. I think it's a meme that is out there that has like 4 panels in it. It's like what the homeowner thinks his house is worth, and it shows this one sort of home, what the mortgage company thinks it's worth, what the tax assessor thinks it's worth, and then what the market says it's worth. Yep. And they're all, it goes everything from a shack to a castle,
That's it.
And that's what it is. But I get tickled because people can come in once they get the reappraisal and the love notes, as you said, and they will come in and tell you how their house is nowhere near worth what you say it is, but if they put it on the market, they certainly want it to be worth that.
Well, and I think it's important that people know what the value of their homes are.
Yeah.
We have the Smart Rutherford app.
Yes, go through that because for folks, that's one thing I always want to talk to you about when you're on here. Make sure we get that out there because it's fantastic.
You can go to your Amazon Alexa and you can say, Alexa, I think it's Open Skills, Open Smart Rutherford. It'll open up the free app, and then you can say, Alexa, what is my property value? And it will tell you what your home is assessed for and appraised for. It will also tell you who your state representative is.
Your county commissioner, your
county commissioner,
city councilman.
It will tell
all
you
that.
It will give you all that information, and it will tell you how to get to the nearest school, what your child is zoned for school. And we're partnering with TDOT. TDOT lists all of their construction projects in Rutherford County. You can get that for free. The ones closest to you because it's geolocated by using Smart Rutherford. It's there. It's available. I don't believe in giving somebody a haystack and saying, find the needle.
Yeah.
I want to tell you where the needle is and show it to you. I'll give it to you. So we've got a device that will go to that haystack, we'll find the needle for you, and show you what it is that you need, regardless of where it's buried in different county websites or different city websites. There's one spot that you can go to. And I make that app available as a widget for anybody that wants to download it and put it on their personal website for community information. Just let me know. I'll send you the widget code to it. You can have your tech guru person put it in.
That will be going on choosechip.net here very soon. But the other thing I always want to get updated on is how is your chess game? And I know this is a drum that you have continued to beat for quite some time about introducing young people to the game of chess, not because you're a big chess fan, but because it does help develop critical thinking in young people, and something that's been very dear and near to your heart.
It's, again, we have community issues that go beyond assessing properties that I think as elected officials we have to reach out for. Chess is a tool that can help children and adults learn how to develop coping skills, learn to think about what it is that they're doing to help give them better lives for the future. My personal chess game, I am what they call a duffer. I enjoy playing. We do have, I intend on having another contest of chess champions tournament in probably April. We had it last year at Patterson Park. We may have it at MTSU if the MTSU chess team will help us sponsor it on campus. I have reached out to MTSU to see about putting putting a sanctioned chess team in place at MTSU, and about introducing chess as an instructional tool for teachers through the Department of Education, the College of Education there at MTSU. So it's just another little thing that we have going on the side there, trying to make the community a better place to live, because I think that's what we all need to do.
Now, give folks the website address, because there's a lot of information on your website.
Sure. www.rcpatn.com. And we have two different types of, if you go to real property, you can look at, we have two property search sites. One is a beta version, which is kind of an updated version of the other site that we had. And if you scroll down to the bottom of the page, there's information about short-term rentals. You'll see the widget over there that's the after-hours chat, which is Smart Rutherford that opens up. So love hearing from everybody, and hope that you'll come by and see us.
All right. Appreciate the time today.
I appreciate you, Chip. Thank you so much.
Yep. Rob Mitchell, the assessor of property for Rutherford County, has been our guest. If you missed any of this, you can check it out online at where is that? That'll be at the podcast section of wgnsradio.com. Most of the time, Brian, I would say stay cool, but hey, stay warm today, okay?
I'm going to be as hot as I can be.
All right. See you, folks.
WGNS, Murfreesboro, Smyrna.
It's a Slick Pig barbecue, spicy wings and Brunswick stew, everything made fresh for you at the Slick Pig barbecue. There's lean smoked turkey and chicken too, ribs so tender don't need to chew. Well, come on folks, I'm telling you, it's a Slick Pig barbecue. In 1920 East Main, you're gonna love the pig.
The Slick Pig Barbecue, a Murfreesboro tradition.
Premier 6 Theater on Broad in Jackson Heights.
Let's all go to the movies.
Check out what's showing at murfreesboromovies.com. Popcorn popped fresh daily.
Movies at the good old